Oh, man, I don't want to do this. Get this out of here. Now this is what I want to do. Let's go.
One of the main purposes to life is learning. Without that, we would be lost within this world. What else would we do other than learn day in, day out? Whether there is true reincarnation, maybe an afterlife, everything that we learn within the time we spend on Earth is potentially either passed on to ourselves in another life, our kids, someone else. Life is about learning through and through. But as time goes on, there seems like there's less to learn or less that we care about learning. So we're fed these little bits of learning or information through reels, social media. It's all been engineered to basically keep us happy and keep us feeling like we've learned something. But the true knowledge that we can gain by living our lives and actually pursuing things within them, it far exceeds anything that we can learn just scrolling on an app. The headlines that we're fed and just the general information that's promoted on YouTube, Instagram, etc., it makes our lives feel fulfilling. It makes it feel like every second that we spend on our phones, on the computer, doing things that truly aren't really productive or beneficial to our lives, it makes it feel like it is. It makes it feel like we're learning. We're so much more ahead of the people who aren't doing this because, oh, well, I've just spent all this time consuming a podcast for the last 10 hours. Like, I'm learning constantly, right? My brain is filled with information. But that's not really the case. You know, we can feel so productive, so fulfilled, consuming content 24/7, but we aren't truly learning that much. Now, I'm not going to pretend like you can't learn something from a YouTube video because that'd be silly. That's not at all true. Half the things, probably even more of the things I've learned in my life, mentally, physically, etc., it's all been on YouTube, right? We have the capability to learn. And to say that that can't be done whatsoever, well, you're eliminating tons of possibilities and information for yourself. But to pretend that spending all this time on YouTube and just consuming videos constantly, to pretend like that's learning and productive, well, you're on the other side of the spectrum now. So it's important to find a balance in between so you can live a good life, right? You don't want to be consuming too much content to the point where it overflows your brain and you're not really learning anything because there's new information coming in and out the ear, every couple of seconds. And you also don't want to be too far on the other side where you're not learning anything, or maybe you get a couple bits of information every once in a while from a headline you saw on TV, but you want to be getting information at a good, consistent pace. And with the internet, it's super easy to do. It's all about self-restraint. Once you start diving into Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and you pick up the information, it's just a matter of stopping there, not overflowing yourself with even more reels and even more headlines. Go into it wanting to learn something specific, or say you're just relaxing. Not everything has to be super thought out and scheduled, but just don't let yourself keep reverting to that habit constantly. Within our lives, we have so much free time, so much time that we can do things. And it's often spent on a screen. Trust me, think about your day, in and out. How much of it do you spend on a screen? And it might not feel like a lot because, oh, well, I didn't get to sit down and play Hogwarts Legacy for 3 hours today, or I didn't win 4 ranked matches. But when you went to the bathroom, when you picked up your phone to check a text message, how many times do you go to your Instagram, go to your Snapchat, just scroll through for a couple minutes? That all adds up, and it adds up to hours throughout your day. Go check your screen time in your settings. It's not going to be below a couple hours, I promise you that. Most of us were probably sitting around 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's ridiculous. We should not be spending that much time on our phones at all. It doesn't matter if we think we've been learning, listening to podcasts all day, filling our brain with information. That does nothing. What'd you learn about yourself today? What did you change about yourself today? What'd you learn about the things around you? What skills did you improve on today? I promise you, if you're just spending all your time learning online, almost none of those things will have been improved. You're gonna have to think long and hard about the things you learned. Oh, well, Elon has a 17th kid who was actually like, really? Seriously? Oh, actually the war going on in this country, like, none of that affects your life. You didn't affect the discussion whatsoever. You didn't have any new original thoughts to add. You were just reading the information, putting it in your brain, and a couple days later it's gone. So whether it was to keep you informed for a conversation that you were gonna have for 30 seconds, or so you could make a comment on YouTube, or even just to feel informed, to feel smart yourself, none of that's truly beneficial. It's all genuinely a waste, a big, big waste. You could spend so much time honing a skill, learning about yourself, but you're not doing it, are you? You're scrolling on Instagram, you're watching YouTube videos, and wasting your time. Now, this is all just one plain concept. Super simple, really. It's watch and consume what's beneficial to you. And be so brutally honest with yourself about what actually benefits you. Because it's very easy to trick ourselves and to convince ourselves that the stuff that we consume, the stuff that we watch, it's important for us. Oh my God, I'm staying informed on the politics. I know what's going on geopolitically. Okay, dude, that's so cool. What's going on in Croatia right now? How does that affect you? Like, a lot of people will come up with excuses before they actually analyze what they're doing. Don't come up with an excuse. Think long and hard. And that's not to say you're gonna be wrong every time. You're gonna find sometimes you're right. And the justification was there all along, you just had to think about it. But the second you start coming up with excuses before actually analyzing, it all goes downhill from there. So analyze your own life. Analyze the content you watch, you consume every single day. Think, is this, like, what is this doing for me? Seriously. And maybe just cut some of the content out. It's not always about switching it for something else. It's just about taking it out completely. The more time that we can spend with our own thoughts, productively, constructively, the absolute better. Our lives are going to improve exponentially from that point. The second that you can start analyzing the things around you, self-analyzing your own self, like, these are huge skills to have in life. And you're not gonna be able to build them up very well if you spend all your time scrolling on Reels. So yeah, guys, just don't forget, life isn't about the amount of content you can consume or the information that you can cram into your brain. It's about the value it adds to your own life and the value that you can bring to other people's lives with that information. So don't forget that, and try not to cram that brain too tight with a bunch of crap. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Go out, get some beautiful sunshine if it's available, get some fresh air, do some activity. Switch out some of that content consumption for some true physical activity. Your brain is gonna get so much more nourishment. The availability to fill it with more knowledge is gonna be there. You just have to actually go out, use your body, use your brain, and keep building up those skills, keep being happy, keep living life. Thanks for listening today, guys. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. If not, try and turn it to a wonderful day. Start fresh. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Take care. I'm Sam, and this was BHNO Media.